It's the best of the best porn titles ripping off famous Hollywood films to cash in on their success ever, featuring such classics as Forrest Hump, Jurassic Pork, Indecent Penetration, Boner Alone, Hairy Bogger and the Penis of Azkaban, Fuck the Fockers. And of course, where would the best of the best porn titles ripping off famous Hollywood films to cash in on their success ever be without Lord of My Ring and Star Whores? Plus, order your copy now and receive the exclusive bonus. Even more of the best porn titles ripping off famous Hollywood films to cash in on their success ever, featuring King Dong, Shaving Ryan's Privates, E.T. the Extra Testicle, Charlie and the Chocolate Starfish Factory, The Clitrix Reloaded, Men in Blonde, and who could forget The Passion of the Fist. It's the best of the best porn titles ripping off famous Hollywood films to cash in on their success ever. And even more of the best porn titles ripping off famous Hollywood films to cash in on their success ever. Available in CD stores down those narrow alleyways in a red light district near you, or over the till at any shop in Amsterdam.
Nourishing pod.
Charlie is a 2-year-old boxer from Stoke-on-Trent and a self-confessed child mauler. He willfully attacks anyone under 4 feet tall. That also includes midgets. However, midgets dressed up as elves tend to frighten him, so he leaves them alone. Hoping to cure this illness, Charlie's owner Steve has taken him to the Good Dog Rehabilitation Centre.
Yeah, well, it was always such a happy dog, but, well, I don't know, I guess things change for anyone after a while. You go through growing pains and that.
Steve feels unsure if this is the right course of action for Charlie. He fears that this procedure may change the dog that he has grown to love.
I don't want it to be like, you know, he looks at me as though I'm nothing when he comes out of this procedure.
Conducting the procedure is Karen Woodgrass, an expert in dog psychology. Examining him for the first time, Karen deliberates on her findings and discusses them with Steve.
Well, you see, it appears that Charlie's lost the compassion gene, which is generally found in abundance with most dogs.
All right, so what does that mean?
Okay, well, there are a few ways we can approach this. Firstly, we can try a full canine extraction operation, which is often quite risky. It's still in the experimental stages, and some of these operations have not, well, been very successful. Or we could give him this.
You want to give him a shotgun?
Yes, it would actually be more painless than the operation, though. Mind you, you won't be required to shoot him. We have a young lad out back who loves doing that sort of thing. He's very, very good. Thoroughly enjoys that part of the job. Just don't make eye contact with him.
I don't believe this.
Yes, I know, eye contact is important, but we've learnt from our mistakes and it's just not worth it.
Steve deliberates on the news, and his decision is far from decisive. But when Karen redirects the gun at his head, he soon comes to a decision. Unwilling to part with Charlie, he risks his dog's life on a very delicate operation. It's now a week later, and Steve is about to be greeted by a very different Charlie.
Well, firstly, Steve, I have some wonderful news for you. The operation was a complete success and Charlie is doing fine, so you can take him home straight away. But I must warn you again that he won't be the same as you remember him, okay?
Well, how would he be different?
Well, for a start, he won't be very good on a leash anymore, and his ears are a bit shorter than they used to be. You'll also notice his hair is a little more, well, fluffy, I suppose. Oh, and one more thing. He can't really bark anymore.
Well, what can he do?
Well, perhaps it's best you come take him away with you and discover those changes over time. Get reacquainted with him, okay?
That's a fucking cat.
Yes, but it is still Charlie. It's just that's the way he now appears in physical form. Underneath, he's still the same dog you always loved.
It's a fucking cat. I fucking hate cats.
Right. Well, perhaps you could learn to love him for who he is, not what he looks like.
Karen is proud of her success with the operation and believes that she has helped two kindred spirits get a second chance in life.
I really do feel like I've made a difference here, and if I could turn the life of one person around by turning their man-eating canine into a harmless tabby, then I feel deep contentment. Yeah.
Fucking cats can fuck off!
You are waiting for death. It's better than waiting in line for Pop Idol.
God doubts his own existence. Serial killer blames the Teletubbies for his crimes. Blondes have more fun but fail to grasp the concept of irony. And Brussels sprouts now recategorized as building material.
This is SYKE News, where the truth of the matter is no longer the cause. With your host, Baron Cleft Palate.
A controversial report due out next Friday, fortnight after Wednesday, suggests that Elvis Presley suffered from Parkinson's disease.
Well, how else do you explain all that shaking leg movement malarkey?
Suggested 47-year-old mother of two, Bernadette King from Coventry. The report is not expected to gain much support due to the fact that Mrs. King is a complete twat. In a related story, chat show host Michael Parkinson has issued a cease and desist order preventing anyone from using his namesake for a debilitating illness. Two alternative names have been chosen, and a decision as to which one people prefer will be announced in the next 37 minutes. Michael J. Foxtrotting Disease or Muhammad Ali Oxen-Free Illness. A third possibility was offered, but wonky body shaken all over and shitting your pants in public disease was considered to be in bad taste. Weather for my internal organs, fine and sunny up the top end of the body with occasional wet patches of cider, but further south expect heavy conditions as the curry begins to work its way up north and again further south at high speeds. It's expected to explode out down south by midnight, and similar conditions are expected several hours later in the north. Grey, foggy conditions will follow tomorrow morning.
SYKE News, the last vestige of journalistic integrity.
Hot to Trot Pod.
It's story time with Jean-Paul.
There once was a filthy little shit called Jack Horny. He liked to shit in the corner all day long, sticking his index finger up his chocolate tea towel holder, the sick fuck. Then he would slip his finger into his mouth as he watched videos of the good girl action. This was heaven for Jack, who was too fucking ugly to ever get a real bit of pushy. But one day, Jack found a website where he could indulge his stinky fantasy. This shithole was big into the chocolate mud wrestling, and Jack was ready to join in. Our shit just keeps on flowing, said the advertising banner. This made Jack horny, and so he decided to start fisting his black box flight recorder. He thrusted it around until he emptied his love coconuts, and it landed in his face. He spat out the lumpy custard that came from the snotty end of his fuckstick. To take the horrible taste away, he pulled his fist from his ass and stuck it in his mouth and sucked long and hard. Then when he pulled it out, he couldn't help but say, "And what a good boy am I."
Good night, boys and girls. Till next time.
You have been waiting for death. To find out more, visit us online, waitingfordeath.net. Copyright Wankana Productions, 2006.